spooky friends. We're on day 14 of our 31 days of horror movie villains, and today we're talking about the orphan herself, Esther. Esther's portrayed by Isabella Fuhrman in the film Orphan and also in the prequel movie Orphan First Kill. She's basically like a 33-year-old woman that has a pituitary gland disorder that causes her to look much younger than she truly is. Although she's very small, she's very dangerous. She's very violent and very manipulative. She basically poses as a child, gets into someone's house, manipulates the family, but eventually starts falling for the father figure of the household, and when he rejects her, she basically turns on the family, kills everyone, and lights the house on fire. So in the first movie, we see the same thing happen. They come and find her in an orphanage. She seems like a very cute, prim and proper little girl with these ribbons on her neck and her wrist. She's dressed basically like an 80-year-old woman. And the main characters, Kate and John, find her. They think, oh, that's nice. She's a painter. That's so cute. So they bring her home. They have 2 other kids at home. Esther has kind of taken a liking to the father. She really likes John. We see Esther at school. She's being bullied for the way she presents herself and pushes the bully off of a playset. From the orphanage visits the home and kind of warns the family that seems like whenever there was a problem at the orphanage, she was responsible, so like, stay on high alert. And because Esther heard the entire conversation, she basically took care of that woman. But as the movie goes on, we see more and more deranged things come from Esther. She clearly really loves the father, so she goes out of her way to make Kate, the mother, look completely incapable of caring for her own children. She does so many things that eventually the father suggests sending her to rehab. Esther eventually tries to murder the brother. He falls from a treehouse that she lit on fire. When they're at the hospital, Esther tries to smother him with a pillow, but while they're at the hospital, Kate slaps her across the face, and so they restrain Kate. So John decides to take Esther and the little girl home, where Esther tries to seduce him. She puts on like makeup and tries to make herself look older, but of course he's like, you're a little kid, I don't want anything to do with this. As he rejects her, she is so enraged that she ends up murdering him. Kate breaks out of the hospital, she saves little Max, and we see Esther basically drown in this frozen pond. In Orphan First Kill, we get a little bit more of Esther's backstory. She's also portrayed by Isabella Fuhrman, which is kind of funny because Isabel now is in her 20s. She does not look like a little kid, so they use a lot of practical effects to make her look smaller. You just kind of have to suspend your disbelief and just go with it. We learned that she was in a mental institution, and that's the reason why she wears those ribbons, because she would like become so violent, scar herself trying to get out of her restraints. He finds a story of a missing girl and pretends to be this missing girl. Parents of the missing girl to get her, but things are kind of weird. The mother basically covered up the murder of her own daughter because her son committed the murder. She already knew her daughter wasn't still around, but she just kind of went along with it on behalf of the father. Esther and the mother are kind of at odds. They realize like only one can kind of stick around, and again, Esther is like super into the father. Father rejects her, the house burns up, everyone dies. In this movie though, we learn more of a backstory about her painting because she's a really good painter. We see her use black light to kind of paint all these terrible things inside of her painting so no one can kind of see. Esther is a very dangerous person. She's very smart, very manipulative, and she's based on a true story that involved a woman with the same sort of disorder. I really like the orphan movies. Esther is a terrifying character. Isabella Fuhrman did a wonderful job in this role. I love Esther. I think she's an icon.